Hey, Zudorug here, coming to another video review. And today I'll be taking a look at the NECA Godzilla 1994, based on the version from Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. And I think he also has design aspects of the other Heisei Godzillas thrown in there. But that said, here's his size to a soda can. Basically what you would expect out of something like a Voyager class Transformer figure. As far as colors are concerned, well, what do you expect? It's Godzilla. Mostly a very dark... hang on. He's mostly a very dark, almost black green, with a little bit of a sort of turquoise highlight dry brush on him. His spines and fingers being painted a sort of bluish white, and his toes actually being just sort of a very light blue. A lot of detail on the scales all over his body. Even quite a bit of detail here on the very rubber dorsal plates. Of course, the mouth has sort of yellowed white teeth. Open. A very dark red for the tongue and the muscle in the mouth, and a dark red, gold, and black on the eyes. As with pretty much all NECA figures, his posability is pretty good, but a little bit limited. He has a ball joint here in the neck, so up and down, though not a whole lot. Tilt side to side, and that's one problem I have. His head comes off really easily. Anyway, his head can turn side to side pretty well. Tilt just a little bit, and that's pretty much about it. The mouth is just on a straight hinge, so although it's a very tight hinge, but you can open his mouth pretty wide. He has a second ball joint at the base of his neck, so it allows it to move up and down, tilt, turn, so again, pretty good posability. Arms can move out to the side that far, rotate all the way around. He has a second joint just below the shoulder that has some rotation all the way around, as well as a hinge that can move back and forth, and that can be used either to bend his arms a little bit or be used to give him a more natural flex down into his body. He has that same hinge and pin on his elbow, so his elbow can rotate side to side, bend about that far. Hand is on a ball joint, so it can swivel, tilt, everything you need to do, and the fingers are all one joint, but it's a fairly good hinge. Ball joint for the waist, double ball joint actually, I think, so it can move down really far, up, tilt side to side, and rotate pretty well, though not all the way around. The legs are where things get a little bit hindered because his thighs are just so darn big, but they can move all the way around, as awkward as it looks. There's also a joint there that allows everything to move up and down, so you can get some pretty out poses, pretty far out poses like that. I mean, that's about as far as the leg's going to go out, but you can also give him some more sturdy positioning like that, as well as move the legs back and forth just for various other positioning. Again, same hinge and pin here on the knees, a little bit of rotation, and a very tight hinge right there. Ball joint on the foot, so back and forth, tilt, swivel, all that good stuff. and then ball jointed segments in the tail here, 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 and here, which gives a pretty good range of motion. Not the best. I mean, nowhere near the level of something like a what are they called? SH Monster Arts. This tail also actually has a second ball joint, so it can move even further. But, you know, it's a ball joint, so side to side, swivel, up, down, all that good stuff. And then he has some kind of metal wire encased in rubber on this one. So, I mean, with this joint, you can sort of get just about any pose you want with his tail, but the thicker it is, or the thicker areas, it can be a bit harder to get his tail to move. But in general, you can do pretty much whatever you need to with a tail, so I like that. I mean, I'd prefer it be segmented all the way down like the SH Monster Arts ones, but then this is supposed to be a budget version of that mold, or a budget version of the Godzilla 94 figure, not a super high price one. Whoop. And of course, like with pretty much all the NECA Kaiju figures, no accessories, nothing, just what you see is what you get, and what you get's pretty good. I like it. It's not perfect, and it has its flaws, but overall I think it's a fairly good representation of the 1994 Godzilla suit. My camera will focus on it. But that pretty much does it, so this has been my review of the NECA Godzilla 1994. So until next time, bye-bye.